tensions have been rising as Donald Trump continues to threaten Russia with missiles over an alleged chemical attack near Damascus on Saturday. The president tweeted, "Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming, nice and new and smart." Fears that World War III could be started in Syria have been bubbling over since senior Russian figures warn that they are prepared to meet any U.S. strikes with a response. Donald Trump called Syrian President Bashar al-Assad a gas-killing animal in a tweet that could be the spark to start a war. Mr. Assad has denied ordering the chemical attack on the town of Douma in eastern Ghouta. The tweet warned that relations with Russia don't have to result in war, so long as Russia cooperates. He tweeted, "Our relationship with Russia is worse now than it has ever been, and that includes the Cold War. There is no reason for this. Russia needs us to help with their economy, something that would be very easy to do, and we need all nations to work together. Stop the arms race." Get a Russia versus Trump, what world leaders think, will World War III break out? Getty. Trump tweeted a warning to Russian officials. Forces loyal to President Bashar al-Assad launched an assault on the eastern Ghouta that reportedly left more than 1,700 civilians dead. Back in February. In March, troops split the region into three pockets, the largest of which was around Douma, home to between 80,000 and 150,000 people. Facing defeat, rebel groups in the other two pockets agreed to be evacuated to northern Syria, but the group controlling Douma, Jaish al-Islam, continued to hold out. On Friday, after negotiations with the government stalled, airstrikes resumed. The bombardment continued on Saturday, with dozens of people reportedly killed or injured by conventional munitions before the suspected chemical attack. Getty. Douma has now been taken over by the Syrian government activists from the Violations Documentation Center, VDC, which records alleged violations of international law in Syria, reported two separate incidents of bombs believed to contain toxic substances being dropped by the Syrian Air Force. The first occurred at approximately 1600 hours, 1300 hours GMT, and saw a bakery on Omar ibn al-Khattab Street in northwestern Douma targeted, the VDC said. By 1945 in the evening, more than 500 patients, most of them women and children, were brought to medical facilities with symptoms indicative of exposure to a chemical agent, according to the Syria Civil Defense and the Syrian American Medical Society, SAMS. The patients showed signs of respiratory distress, central cyanosis, blue skin or lips, excessive oral foaming, corneal burns, and the emission of chlorine-like odor, a joint statement issued on Sunday said. The Syrian government has now taken control of Douma, raising their flag over the last rebel town in eastern Ghouta. The raised state flag over a building in the town of Douma has heralded the control over this location and therefore over the whole of eastern Ghouta. Major General Yuri Yevtushenko, head of the Russian Peace and Reconciliation Center in Syria, was quoted as saying by Russian news agencies, Getty. Bashar al-Assad denies involvement in the attack. An allied force between the US, UK, and France have agreed to work together in a combined effort to respond to the situation in Syria. French President Emmanuel Macron said any strikes would target chemical plants in Syria to nullify their ability to launch such attacks. British Prime Minister Theresa May is to act on the Syria situation without MPs' vote according to sources at the BBC. The Prime Minister is said by government insiders to see the need for a response as urgent. She wants to prevent a repeat of the apparent chemical attack near Damascus, which she described as abhorrent. While Labour's Jeremy Corbyn warned bombing could escalate the situation, Theresa May could act without consulting Westminster. The PM is said to be reluctant to ask for Donald Trump to seek more evidence until she can discuss the situation at Westminster. Despite the president's tweet, the U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis said the U.S. was still assessing the chemical attack and that the U.S. military stood ready to provide military options if they are appropriate as the president determines. This comes as Mr. Trump cancels his first official trip to Latin America as president. The decision could show that the U.S. is ready to put more power into the operation that was originally expected, according to the BBC's Barbara Kletuscher in Washington. On the other hand, Iran has taken sides with Assad, vowing to stand by Syria in the face of any foreign aggression. Syria's enemies are angry because of its military advances against terrorist groups, Ali Akbar Velayati, Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's top advisor, told Iranian state TV during his visit to eastern Ghouta's bomb-shattered ruins.